Good morning, happy Thursday, and wow, am I surprised that it's already Thursday. Let's see, I have a low and high act of kindness to do. Let's see. I guess my low is that I know that, for the most part, the busy part of the week is over, so it is smooth sailing just to get to the weekend, which I'm really excited for. But there was really the only thing I know for a fact I have to do in the next 24 hours is binge watch part 2 of that 90s show, as well as watch Hot Ones. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Let's just say there's something that I kind of want to do, but I told my mom about it and she kind of doesn't want me to do it. I don't want to say what it is because it can be a rather, controversial topic. But, yeah, I just want to leave it at that. And I did promise I would do this, but again, kind of, keep in mind, my mom doesn't want me to do this. She doesn't want my brother to do this. She doesn't want my father to do this. It's something that you have to donate more than just your time to do. I'll just leave it at that. And my shirt might be a dead giveaway. Point is, yeah, I'm a bit conflicted at the moment. So, honestly, for a second it seemed like the least stressful part of this week just became more and more stressful. Not in a bad way, though. My high is I got to see my folks last night. Oh, also, another part of my low. It rained a lot. Here's the thing. Actually, let me get to my active kindness. My active kindness was I emptied the dehumidifier, brought in the garbage cans for my folks, filled the dishwasher. So, yeah, I did a lot of good things. So, anyway, it rained a lot. Keep in mind, back when I was in high school, right? It was about a week after school went out that that seniors graduated from high school. For the last few years now, in the entire area, they try and make it so graduation for high school seniors falls on the very last day of school. The evening of the last day of school. Now, personally, I kind of wonder why they never really did that back in my day. Then again, you know what? I take it back. Maybe, because when I was a senior, I didn't need to take any Regents exams. Maybe that's why it felt longer than a week out. Anyway, well, I completed all my Regents exams, by the way. See, if you're in the state of New York, and I do believe in the state of California, you have what's called Regents exams, which are supposed to be about as hard as a final, if not possibly harder. And listen, New York and California are the only two states in the country to do this. And personally, I think it's stupid. I guess as I've gotten older, I do kind of see the point of why a lot of people think that grading systems as a whole is really stupid. Anyway, so point is, yesterday, my alma mater, Horseheads High School, they were supposed to have their graduation. They couldn't. Because it didn't just rain, it thundered and lightning and downpoured. Oh my God. Literally the entire day, why don't you cancel the rain? It's a beautiful day outside. Literally, when the ceremony would have started, it was still thunder and lightning. Thankfully, by the time I left my folks' place at around 8 o'clock, 8:15, actually it was really more like just after 8 o'clock. Sorry, there's a motorcycle that drove by. When I left my folks' place, the rain died down, but I'm okay, I can kind of see what they were talking about in terms of graduation. It's actually quite interesting because thanks to Trinity-Pawling, I've been through not one, not two, but 3 graduation ceremonies. Horseheads High School, Trinity-Pawling, Gettysburg College. Now, in the years past, I've talked ad nauseum about the graduation process at Trinity-Pawling, so I'll only do a very brief summary of what that was. But, I think that's what I'll do. Considering that Horseheads is graduating today, I'll talk about my graduation from Horseheads. And maybe I'll get to Trinity-Pawling, Gettysburg College if I get into it. So, my graduation from Horseheads pretty much started off like any other day. It was, late June. It was a beautiful day outside. In fact, I don't really believe there was a cloud in the sky that day. And high school graduation at that time took place at First Arena in Elmira. All the high schools had their graduation ceremony there, except for Corning. They had their own thing. But pretty much any high schools like Elmira Heights. Oh, actually, in fact, it was EFA and Southside. They all pretty much had their ceremony at First Arena here in Elmira. And obviously, as a graduating senior, I had to get there pretty early. But, it would be a long day, so I remember it was my dad and I, because we were the first ones to arrive. Because my dad had to save seats for everyone. Because, there's a lot of people there. So, I had a lot of guests of my own, obviously everyone had to be there. So, we actually went to Vincenzo's for lunch. I'm pretty much in, you know what? I can't quite remember if I was wearing my cap and gown when I was eating. No, I wasn't. I had my cap and gown in my car. But I was wearing, a relatively nice outfit, which, because everyone kind of had to do that. And it's funny because, I had, a nice white shirt on, black pants, black shiny shoes, a black belt. Pretty much, the only thing I was missing was a tie, but there really wasn't. Actually, I think I might have been wearing a tie too, holy cow. Point is, I had a pretty solid outfit on, which, I know since I'm going to be wearing a cap and gown over the outfit, if I stained anything, no one would notice. But now that I look back, why did I put myself at risk at all to stain my clothes with pizza sauce or something if I'm wearing a nice outfit, I didn't spill anything. Everything was fine. Back then, my graduating class had, I believe, 393 graduates. Some big old number like that. It was a lot of people. But, ceremony went without a hitch. You had project graduation, which was a giant party for the seniors all night. No alcohol or anything, obviously. And for a long time, that was the last time I saw anyone from my graduating class at Horseheads. Keep in mind, this is back when where deep down I was contemplating suicide. So, I didn't really care if I never saw anyone from Horseheads again at the time. If I killed myself, I didn't think anyone would ever miss me. Obviously now that wouldn't be the case. But I wouldn't know that then. Remember, I'm going to Trinity-Pawling. I was contemplating suicide at the time, and doing a Trinity-Pawling wouldn't make sense because I really wouldn't know anyone. Nobody would miss me. And I didn't think anyone in Horseheads would miss me either, but obviously now, many years later, I believe 16 years later, I'm doing okay. And it's very clear that people would miss me and feel sad if I was gone. So, a lot can change in that time, can't it? Listen, I think it was a Hillary Duff song, in a moment, everything can change. Yeah, one moment everything can change. Imagine what will happen in, again, 16 years. So, there you go. And, I guess with that, I can talk about Trinity-Pawling's graduation. I've talked about it nauseam in the past, although it's been a while since I've done that, how there have been situations where seniors that were about to graduate the night before got caught getting in trouble, like drinking or doing something bad on campus, so they couldn't graduate the next day. So naturally, the main thing that every one of us seniors did at Trinity-Pawling was keep ourselves accountable. And I'm very happy to say no one from my graduating class got in trouble. Although, what's funny about Trinity-Pawling's graduation is, it always took place on the Sunday before Memorial Day. I remember that. So, in fact, no kidding, my family and I immediately headed up to Cuca Lake the day after, immediately after I graduated. It was great. So we get up to the lake, but before that, the graduation. Actually, before that, we had KFC, then we had the lake, because there was a KFC near Trinity-Pawling, which is awesome. So, graduation Trinity-Pawling, we walked out of the church where everyone's applauding us and stuff like that. We're outside. It was a beautiful day outside, thankfully. But a funny tradition at Trinity-Pawling's graduation was, remember, once you graduate high school, no one can ever take away your diploma. You got it, you earned it, it's all yours. So, it stands to reason that any stuff that would be considered illegal for a student to do, say smoking cigars on campus, you're allowed to do that after you got your diploma. And that's what a lot of us did. I didn't partake because, again, I was hell-bent on trying to be healthy, which, considering how skinny I am now, that's kind of funny when you think about it. Point is, I didn't smoke a cigar during my graduation from Trinity-Pawling, but a lot of other students did after they got their diplomas. In fact, I was literally sitting between two people who were smoking cigars, which, I just find it funny. And then, as I just said before, it was my mom, my dad, my brother who all saw me graduate from Trinity-Pawling. We get some KFC for lunch, and then we immediately head up to the lake. And that would be the last time I would see Trinity-Pawling until about 5 years later, after I ran my first marathon. It's incredible looking back just how much Trinity-Pawling, and I'll be saying this at some point later on, particularly near the end of July, where the phrase something changed my life, or some place changed my life, or somebody changed my life. That can be tossed around a lot, but I can genuinely tell you Trinity-Pawling changed my life. The fact that I'm here talking about this right now says a lot. But I can't talk about graduation without talking about my graduation from Gettysburg College. Now, I never really talked about my time at Gettysburg College very much because I really have more bitter memories about it than I like to share. I went there to wrestle, and there's no way around it. The wrestling coach there was a piece of shit. It didn't help that there was one teammate I had who, I'm not going to say his name, but he was a heavyweight. And he was like the biggest whining, ass-kissing, complaining, just like, okay, this guy would complain that how at his old high school there was this one guy who would bully him, make fun of him and stuff. I can see why. Listen, I was made fun of in high school as well, but at least when it came to that, it was just simply because, I just simply wasn't good at things. But I worked hard and got better, and I earned the respect of a lot of people. This guy did not show, I'm sure he probably showed physical growth, but not emotional growth. To be perfectly honest, the wrestling coach kicked me off the team, not because it did anything bad, but I know for a fact it has to do with the fact that this particular teammate of mine did nothing but complain about me. So really, Gettysburg, just by that alone, has a lot of bitter memories. I mean, I did cross country and track, and I'm thankful for, again, the coaches and the teammates I had for cross country and track. I'll always be thankful for it, even though I never say it enough during these videos. But it really can take one bad thing like what happened with wrestling to really change, to really, ruin everything. Particularly one teammate and one coach I had. Although, funny enough, I know for a fact that by the time I graduated from Gettysburg College, I was a better athlete than any wrestler at Gettysburg College at the time. Hell, I could have made the case after my second marathon, I could have made the case that any athlete who was above me in high school and college, I surpassed. But we'll never know now, will we? But point is, when I graduated from Gettysburg College, looking back on it, it made sense that it didn't rain all day, but it looked like it was going to. Like, it had just rained the night before. It was cloudy. It was damp. It was pretty clear it was something bad was going to happen. I mean, nothing bad happened, thank God. But, I had to get up early because there was an early morning church service at Sunday morning mass at Gettysburg College. It would be the last time I ever went to church on a Sunday for a long time, by the way. And we, my family was there, and my name was called. Considering my time at Gettysburg College, and not just for the wrestling thing too, but remember, I wasn't the greatest student. I mean, I went to all my classes, I did all my schoolwork. I just didn't like to study or read. So, obviously, that was, I hate using this word, but it was kind of a struggle for me to actually get good grades. I mean, by the end of my year, by the time I graduated, it was probably the best semester I ever had, grade-wise. But that was just one giant stressor on my life that I did not need. So by the time the graduation ceremony at Gettysburg College was over, I wanted to get the hell out of there. And I haven't been back since. It really does seem kind of petty for me to not really care about my time at Gettysburg College solely because of the whole wrestling thing. And from what I hear, the coach who was at Gettysburg College isn't there anymore. And regarding that one team I had, who did nothing but whine and complain. Oh, trust me, I wanted to challenge that guy to a rematch. I really did. But the reasons why I didn't was because, A, he actually his shoulders kept getting injured to the point where they pretty much pop out of their sockets at random. So, I mean, listen, I'm the kind of guy who would take a win whenever I can. But I wanted to kick this guy's ass at his best. And with his shoulders popping out the way they were, it just wouldn't have been fair. And also, said athlete, again, the one I just mentioned, his father passed away. I mean, listen, at bare minimum, I want to kick someone's ass. I never wish death upon anyone or any family member of said person ever. So I cut him some slack. I never did get to challenge him to a rematch, and I mean, funny enough, this said athlete wanted to win the Centennial Conference in wrestling and got to go to nationals. Which, considering how hard I was working and all the progress I made there in cross country and track, that rematch would have been something. But it was never meant to be. Not that it matters. I mean, listen, I graduated from college, I've ran 4 marathons, and I've ridden 4 100-mile bike rides for charity. I'm an educated and, in some ways, very accomplished person. My life isn't perfect, but you know what? If nothing else, I can say I'm a high school and college graduate. And no one can ever take that away from me. And ways it's made my life better. Not perfect, but definitely better. And for now, that's enough. I hope you all like this video. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, on social media. As always, I'm very humble this video for all you guys watching your video. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And remember, if you want to talk to anyone, to be here to let me know you're back. Take care and make good choices. 6 till 7 all day, baby.